in nature, black bears are more or less one of the kings of the food group.
They have personalities they're all different, just like any people or other animals too. I mean, everything has its own personality in a way.
It's too bad if he died by the hand of a bear. That would sort of indicate to me he was a little too close.
Tom Matthews. I've lived up here for 5 years now. I'm originally from Toronto. I've been working at the landfill here up in Whitestone Township for 4 years. And basically, we're here to keep a barrier between the bears and the people so people do nothing stupid. Black bears are wild animals. They're unpredictable. Like I said, one bear, you can have no problem chasing them away. The next bear will turn around and it'll run at you.
My name's Brad Kearney. I'm 49 years old. Been chainsawing full-time for 3 years. The biggest black bear I've done is about 12 feet tall. It was about 400 pounds. Black bears are very big. I think they're pretty gentle, what I've seen come around here. Well, I'd have to say I've carved probably over 1,000 anyway. Oh yeah, it's been quite a few.
I'm Rob Gall, and I have a brick and tile sales business, but I've been hunting since I think somewhere around 1978, so that's a few years ago. I'm not really a trophy hunter, so I'm not looking to put a black bear on my wall. I guess I'm a meat hunter, in case you can't tell. I have not gone out to hunt black bears. I have shot two. Mostly when I was deer hunting, and really because they were a nuisance.
I think they should open the spring hunt back up because there happens to be a lot more bears up here. 2 years ago, it got so bad up here, people couldn't get out of their car with go to their trunk to get their garbage bag because there was a bear walking up that basically taking it right out of their hand. Because the record for the amount of bears was about 3 years ago. At this dump was 28 at one time, and at the other dump was 31 at one time. Originally, the guy on the bunny trail he had a lot of bears on his property, and he was basically hand feeding them. He put a sign up saying $5 to see the bears, and he was charging people to come in and see the bears. Well, the ministry come by and says you can't do that. So he put up a sign saying $5 donation to the Bear Fund. Ministry come by and says you can't do that.
Well, Stan Paps, I never knew the man. I'd never met him. I'd driven by his place of residence several times, and quite often you would see bears, because my understanding was he was feeding bears, and I don't know for sure whether he was taking cubs that had been orphaned and nursing them on. I don't know whether that was going on, but I mean there was some talk that he was sort of helping the bears if they were in distress.
Because they were the butchers in town back a long, long time ago, here in Parry Sound. The bears were attacking, because he had farm animals, and maybe the bears were going after them, so he decided to start feeding the bears so they wouldn't go after the animals. That's what I was told. Like they would put piles of food out for the bears. It would be like that dried corn that they feed cows or whatever.
They don't realize how wild these things are. They think they're pets and trying to feed them and getting really close to them, which you can't do. Like I said, they're unpredictable. Like they could be really nice and 1 minute they'll turn and just don't like the way you're talking to them and they'll run at you. And you don't want a 300-400 pound animal running at you with nails and claws and teeth.
Well, I think it's not a good idea to be feeding them, that's for sure, because that just brings them along. And especially a community like this where there's young kids and stuff around, it's not a good idea, that's for sure.
Like your kid could be out playing in the yard or something like that, and a bear could be wandering through. And if they're not scared, there goes the kid.
A lot of people think, oh, it's wrong, and oh, you're attracting them, and oh my God, they're gonna attack kids and all this. They're not gonna attack anyone if they're being fed. Like, it's silly what people think. They're gonna break in our houses. No, they're not. They would only do that if they're hungry, So you're feeding them. They're not going to do anything to hurt you or try to get in your house or anything.
They want to eat. That's their main thing. So they will come near the buildings. And unfortunately, they're not doing anything wrong really other than looking for food, but they're dangerous.
I think people have that false thing of they're so dangerous. It's if you catch them off guard and startle them, or, of course they're going to think you're a predator and fight you.
I mean, my understanding with Stan Pabst is he actually let people come in and interact and see the bears. And I don't know that that's necessarily a good thing.
I was around 25 bears, wild bears every day, and mothers with their babies and everything. And I mean, you don't walk right up, obviously, real close, like where the mother thinks you're gonna. But I mean, I could walk right by and they were fine. Stan never got married or had kids. I know that. Like, he lived there alone.
It's too bad if he died by the hand of a bear. I mean, that would sort of indicate to me he was a little too close.
He got sick, and the ambulance had to phone the fire department to come in here with the hoses to hose the bears away so they could get in there and get him. He had a heart attack.
Those stories are a bunch of crap. But yeah, he died naturally, whatever the rumors are. He had diabetes, so he had his foot amputated, and there were complications where it didn't heal good. So he really couldn't walk anymore, and that's why his nephew was staying with him, taking care of him, and sort of took over, taking care of the bears too. And I think he had 2 operations in the first few years, and then it just didn't heal right, and so eventually, I guess the infection took over, and yeah. Like, he passed away in his bed, and he was fine at night, and in the morning he was gone. I don't think he cared about what the public thinks. Like, he's not doing it to be, out there and...
I don't think it's right what he done, because they are wild animals. They shouldn't be hand-fed, and they get too used to humans.
I think we're not meant to have bears as pets. I think Stan's intentions were probably good originally. I don't know if he overdid it by, bringing too many bears into the area. I think he was a little too close.
you.